What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Report. I'm Emerson Hip. With me, as always, Mr. Gates Emoji. Welcome back. It's been another 2-week layoff.
It feels a lot longer than that.
Second time. This is only the third episode we've done in the last 5 weeks, so things are thinning out a little bit.
So we appreciate your patience with us as well.
Because we did plan on doing one last week, and we both decided it was not the best week to do one.
So you know what this means? Another double episode.
Right. We're not going to aim for the longest episode again, but it might happen, naturally.
And we can promise we're not going to talk about Vince Scully at all today, which was, from what I heard, way too long. Could have been a lot shorter. But you got to pay respect to the legends.
Is anyone crying? You're crying for Vin, okay?
Crying for Vin. Crying for Vin. How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Yeah.
What did we do last week?
We went to the Giants game last Sunday.
That's right.
And it was a really nice day.
It was nice. It was given the temperature, it was very hot.
Really,
it felt hotter than what it was.
For San Francisco.
Yeah, because it was only about mid-70s, I think, but we were sweating out there.
Right in the sun. I did think you got us good seats.
Yeah, I like those seats. But when you're just getting blasted by the California sun for 3 straight hours, it gets hot.
Yeah, we took the ferry, but 9:30 ferry.
Yep.
It was me, you, Devin, Danny, Sal, and
his girlfriend.
What was it?
Mari.
Yeah.
If you say it with the
I don't want to sound really white and say Maddie, but it's Maddie.
Mari.
So yeah, we got to the city at 10:30, 10:45.
Yeah.
Went to the high dive. High dive is a must when you're going. If you're taking the ferry, you might as well get it. You might as well hit it because it's on the way there.
There's to me no reason you shouldn't.
Exactly. We got a drink there. Didn't go to Momo's. Were you the one to say you thought Momo's was overrated, or was that Danny?
I didn't say that. I like Momo's.
Maybe nobody said that.
I could see Danny saying that.
You might have. I don't know. I feel like I heard somebody say Momo's a little overrated.
I've done Momo's a handful of times, so it was cool to go to 21st Amendment, which I can't say that I've ever been to. I honestly can't say I've ever been there.
The second time I've been, I gotta say, I'm still thinking about that Cobb salad that I had.
It was good?
Oh, it was delicious.
It looked pretty tasty.
With the chicken in it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably 10,000 calories and it wasn't a salad, but it was fucking delicious.
The pizza I had was solid, too. You had a little bit of it.
It tasted like a mashed potato.
It did. It had that loaded potato kind of vibe. Yeah.
I forgot that we went there. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. I think everybody else seemed like they liked it.
I think so, yeah.
And I like the beer from there. It's a nice big place.
Yep.
We kind of walked a wonky way because you took some weird direction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the most direct route, but I was like, we started walking up hills and zigzagging.
I was like, what are we doing here? And after that, we went to the public house.
Yep.
And got a drink. We walked in through the game that way because you're allowed to do that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the comic book that they were giving away.
Yeah.
Are you heartbroken?
No.
I was.
Are you?
If it was a bobblehead, though, I'd probably been like, hey, we should.
Yeah, bobblehead's a different story.
Comic book, I don't read.
Right. Exactly. Me neither.
So.
Can't remember what I did. Not a book, anyways.
Yeah, books, no. It's been a long time. So, yeah, it was a really good game. It was close, right?
Giants won on a walk-off?
Well, I was getting to that point.
Okay, yeah. Well, it wasn't close. No, the Giants were up 5-0, and then
that's right.
And then eventually we're down 6-5.
The Giants were pulling what the Giants do, but thank you for the Pirates.
Pirates, yeah, making it interesting
for dropping a fly ball in the outfield, which gave the Giants the window that they needed to win the game by a Thairo Estrada walk-off, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I gotta say that's probably I think it's probably the first game I've ever been to where it was a walk-off home run in the game.
I've seen a walk-off home run before, but it's been a long time. It's been a very long time.
And it was just the energy in the place because it wasn't a packed house.
It wasn't packed, but it was relatively
Giants
full.
don't have packed houses anymore.
I would say it was probably minimum 2/3 full, if not 3/4. Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna say shout out to the Golden Gate Cider for keeping me. If I was drinking IPAs all day in that heat,
even can.
Bad. And then after the game was over, we went to Perry's.
Perry's. Yeah, did you like Perry's?
I like Perry's. It was nice.
Cool little kind of it was funny actually. I was talking to this couple at the Marriott this weekend, and this guy walks up wearing his Perry's San Francisco shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was there last week. This was actually yesterday, but they apparently Perry's has 2 locations. They have one in Union Square as well, and that's the original one.
Okay.
And they said they felt like it was more like a Cheers bar, which I kind of got that vibe too. Who
doesn't like a Cheers bar?
Yeah, at the
it's like Downtown
Market Era.
Joe's.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, not exactly. But nice try.
I was waiting for your reaction.
I mean, Downtown Joe's could have that feel, but they don't try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But anyways.
We ended up seeing John Miller.
Yes.
We didn't talk to him, give the man a space.
Yeah.
Post game, he's having dinner with his wife, I'm assuming, or somebody.
Yep.
But it was funny, Devin and I were dancing to, not together, but we were like probably 20 feet apart.
Yeah.
Dancing simultaneously to Africa by Toto, which there's a video of, which some of you might have saw on Instagram. And then Devin's like, she's like, is that John Miller? And I look over, I'm like, oh, that's John Miller.
Yeah. And he just watched you dance.
Yeah. I really wanted to take a picture of him, but I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin this guy's
And he was talking to some other people when I was walking out anyways. Yeah.
But that's really cool. I hear John Miller on the radio every day, or whenever the Giants play, and I've seen him on TV 1,000 times. So
he's an icon, Hall of Famer.
I'm not going to say starstruck, but
it was pretty cool.
But you don't see people like that all the time.
That was pretty cool.
So, and it's cool that John Miller, and he's not like a high-profile celebrity, but it's good to know people that you watch on TV or on the radio.
If you're from the Bay Area, you probably know who John Miller is.
It's nice to see that people like that are like regular people.
Yeah.
They want to go, they want to have drinks at a place, and
that everybody else
goes to.
Right.
Because everybody in San Francisco knows who's a Giants fan knows who John Miller is.
Yeah, and John Miller announced Sunday Night Baseball for many years as well. So he's done it all.
So the Giants game was a great time. It might be the last time I go this year. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I'd go again is if we get to September and Monday night tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they will.
I won't say never.
I won't say I will not go to another game, but I won't go out of my way to go to another game.
But that'd be a good game to end it on for me.
Exactly.
Went to 2 games. Went to one more. Wanted to go to one more than the one I went to, which we did. loved our crowd that we went with. I also loved the shot roulette.
That was pretty fun.
Shot roulette that we did. Come to find out, Devin didn't even take her Seagram's one. She threw it away before we went to the public house.
Really?
I was like, you should just give it to me. I would have shot that shit back real quick.
You're in trouble, Devin.
She didn't tell you. She only told me. Sorry, Devin.
She didn't want. I get it. She didn't want everybody to give her shit, but.
And in her defense, because remember we all took him at that stoplight, the second one, because each person had 2.
Right.
We did shot roulette. You put your hand in the bag, you pick it out, whatever you get, you get.
Right.
And that second one, it was sitting in my pocket for about an hour and a half.
It was nice and toasty.
It was warm. Nothing like warm bullet.
Bro, my second one was Jose Cuervo.
It was a gold or silver.
It was the silver, which is a little bit better, but not much.
See, I started my day out with the gold. The gold Jose Cuervo, waiting for the ferry to come.
I did score on the early morning fireball, which I'm glad about.
I wish I would have pulled 2 fireballs.
Yeah.
I was kind of feeling around. I know what the fireball shot feels like.
You bitch.
Picked it out. I was like,
I tried to not do that.
I was like, I know this is bullet.
Although before I pulled out the Cuervo one, I knew it was Cuervo because I feel the squareness.
Exactly. Everyone's human. You got to feel it around.
Yeah.
But that was a great game. I appreciate you for getting us the tickets, paying for the tickets up front, and I had a great time.
It was fun.
The upper level, lower box.
Lower box
underrated.
Is, or what do they call it? They call it view box.
View box.
That is the way to go. I feel like, there's obviously closer seats. There's club level is great because you get the depth and not too high.
It's club.
But if you don't want to spend too much money and you want a great view of everything, like obviously we're looking out on the bay, you get the whole aesthetic.
That's one of the first things I said. I was like, this is a great view.
Right, view box is the way to go. And that's kind of how I feel about like when we went to see the Cubs at Wrigley Field, we got seats a little bit higher so that we can kind of get a full view of the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit down low and just be way too close to the action and not really get the feel of the
that'd be like if we went to like PNC.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to sit up.
I think so too.
Upper, because I want to see this.
Or at least the middle level.
Skyline.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I'll sit anywhere at a baseball game.
I'm not too picky either.
I don't need to.
But that's kind of why view box is great because it isn't being picky if you're sitting up there because you're not paying too much. Also,
shout out to my dad. He went to the game last Wednesday. Solo shot, first row. Unfortunately, the Giants did not win because the Diamondbacks pitcher had a day. I forget his name.
Zach Gallen. He pitched a gym.
But I'm glad my dad had a good time. Wish I could have went. He wanted me to go, but I had to work.
Yeah, sorry.
Had to be an adult for the day.
Good for you though, Mudge.
Yeah.
Supporting the boys.
He doesn't listen to us, but good for you, Dad. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Gage, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking these fine margaritas that you made us.
Margarita Monday, baby.
And what kind of tequila is in this?
This is Kirkland brand tequila.
Have you? You haven't, but there's this guy on TikTok, or it's like this. I think it's because Devin's on TikTok, or not on TikTok, but well, she is on TikTok. But
She watches videos.
watches videos, yes. It's a band, and they do these videos, and they say "Can it Kirkland?" And what they do is they have the Kirkland brand, tequila or vodka or anything like that, and they put up against a higher known, like Jose Cuervo or Grey Goose.
Right.
And each person will take both shots and will take a guess of which one is the Kirkland. And more times than not, at least I think with the vodka one, they couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, there's rumors that Kirkland vodka is Grey Goose, which it's probably not exactly Grey Goose, but maybe they do, or maybe it's produced in the same distillery or something like that.
To me, vodka's vodka and it tastes like shit.
There's really not much you can do to a vodka to make it different than any other one, but
It's not great.
yeah, it is ass.
But this Kirkland,
I mean, vodka is like basically pure alcohol, just watered down.
one of the last times I can remember drinking that brand Kirkland tequila was at Dover. I forget.
Is that right? Do we have it there?
It was like a danger. We were doing something. A lot of people were there. I forget what the exact.
God, I can't remember having that there, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past us.
I forget what we were doing, but I remember. I think I was already hammered up to this point. I took a shot and I immediately went out to the side yard and just yacked. Immediately.
I love it.
So let's say you shoot it.
And it hits the mouth too hard.
The mouth starts to water,
Right.
and that's when you know you're about to let it go.
Yeah. There are definitely times when I've taken shots and I've not really mentally prepared myself and it's gone really bad. Like either get the eye water and the mouth water or do the whole thing.
That's why we will be doing shot yoga later on in the show. So
Yes. Although we got some nice soft peanut butter whiskey.
sorry, Garrett,
Yep.
you can't have this.
Glad you're not here for this. As much as we love you.
Oh yeah, I wish he was here.
Yeah. I wish you were here, but not for this.
Not for this, because you would
Die. Yeah.
And we're not talking shit. He would actually die because
This is actually from Petaluma.
Is it?
Petaluma. Petaluma.
You had palomas on the brain, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Petalomas. But anyways, here we are. What's going on today, Chief?
So we got some NFL news. We got some NBA, some NASCAR. We have a new kind of segment.
I wouldn't even say it's a segment. It's more of like just a theme of the show going forward.
Called ISR Jail, so stay tuned.
That's gonna be fun.
And then we have Q&A. It's been a couple weeks, couple months probably.
Yeah, I want to say the last time we did it was the last episode of at Dover.
And let me tell you, thank goodness that we did it again because we had 2 questions last week. So shout out to the 3 other people that asked us questions.
Yes.
But before we get into all that, we got some MLB news.
Yes.
That you...
I'll let it fly.
This is the 4th out segment of the show.
Right. We are watching the Yankees and Mets right now, this is a pretty big series. Mm-hmm. The Yankees put 4 runs on Max Scherzer, which is huge because it sounds like DeGrom might be pitching in Game 2 of the series. So
DeGrom is your boy.
Yeah, my boy. So it's good for the Yankees to get ahead of the game and maybe beat Scherzer tonight. But anyways, we're gonna first talk about the Padres. The Padres are they're in a pickle. This is old news. But Fernando Tatis has been suspended for 80 games for violating the PED policy that MLB has in place.
He had ringworm.
I think that's actually bullshit.
Of course it is.
Yeah, there's no way.
I can't prove him wrong, but...
Let's see that rash, bud. Do you know what ringworm is? Because I didn't know what it exactly was before hearing about this.
I've seen people on their body have...
Yeah, it's like a rash.
Yeah, but it's like an actual... looks like a worm.
Yeah.
It might be... Is it actually worms?
No, it's just a fungal infection in your body.
Okay.
Don't know how exactly it comes about, but that's what it is.
I just find it hard to believe that this guy, Tatis, he's not just a guy, he's a great player.
This guy.
That he couldn't ask somebody in the Padres organization,
What should I do about this?
what should I take for this?
Exactly, that's why I don't think it's real.
Yeah.
I think he's just cheating.
Did he use Jason?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't even think that they proved that what they found in him is actually a cure for ringworm.
This does suck for him long term because I think you could agree with me that he's on a right now Hall of Fame trajectory.
Well, yeah, he has the talent for sure,
But this is probably going to ruin him.
I mean, yeah.
Because how harsh the MLB is.
Right. I think
they're how to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think anyone these days that gets caught, you're toast. Yeah,
no
chance.
Did you hear what A-Rod had to say about this?
I did, and it was kind of interesting.
Because A-Rod, he was talking. I think it was Jeter was on like maybe
Jeter
like Baseball Tonight broadcast during the game.
Yeah.
And A-Rod was saying, I wish he didn't do what I did. Because, A-Rod essentially, he already came out before and said that he cheated or took PEDs. But he doubled down on it and said again, like, he's like, I wish, if I were to go back, I would change it. Like, I wish I never would have done that because it cost me a Hall of Fame bid. Because obviously, he would be a Hall of Famer if he didn't take PEDs.
Right.
Right?
And he just was harping on the fact that he's like, I wish people now would have learned from his mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah, he said, learn from my mistake. Because now the people are gonna look at Tatis forever, and be like, you're kind of a cheater.
Exactly, and he could prove, and it's also interesting because who knows how long he's been doing it, but he could prove to the world again that he's still just a good player regardless of this. But at the same time, it's gonna be hovering. I do think though, in some way, it's kind of a good thing that it happened this early.
I was just gonna say
it could be a forgotten thing in like 6-7 years.
I was gonna say him being so young and this happening so early in his career could that be to his benefit later on in his career? Because let's say he plays for another 15 years, people are gonna remember this. But if he has nothing like this ever again,
right? I think the other interesting thing too is like kids that are like, say they're like 5 or 6 years old now, and then maybe they hear about it, but they don't really process it. But if he's still a really good player when they're like starting to really get into baseball, like they're 10, 12, 13 years old, like do they still look up to this guy because he's, got his career back on track and he's, on the good side of things again. But I don't know, it's an interesting situation for him.
I almost think he should go the McGwire route and just admit it. Because McGwire did admit, he's not going to go to the Hall of Fame,
right?
But he did admit that
eventually,
he did this. But maybe he probably didn't at first though, right?
No, he definitely didn't. No one was willing to because like the baseball wasn't really testing for it at all. They weren't enforcing anything on it.
Yeah.
So no one wanted to just say, oh yeah, I did.
Exactly. So this whole thing, and this has been talked about the past 2 weeks. Obviously, we haven't been on the past 2 weeks. Do you think? Because I think that the Padres knew this was coming, and that's why they went so hard for Soto.
It's possible.
And I know you're not a conspiracy guy.
Yeah, no, it's possible.
I kind of am, but would that be? Is that?
I don't even think that's
a crazy thought to think.
No, I don't even think that's conspiracy worthy. I think that's very possible that that's the case. But at the same time, like I think the reason they got Juan Soto is because they wanted to have a juggernaut of a team. Not because of Fernando Tatis.
I could see it both ways.
Right, exactly. So I think that's possible, but I mean, if you're getting Juan Soto but not getting Tatis back, I still don't think they're any better than they would have been.
And Soto hasn't been playing great for the Padres.
He's been fine, yeah. He hasn't been hitting like bombs every other day or anything like that, but yeah, no, I think it could be either way.
But this is really bad news for baseball because this is one of the primetime stars that they have.
Right. And baseball has been very fortunate that they've got a lot of good young stars in the game right now, and he was one of them, so that definitely sucks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to me, it's just like if unless he's been successful as he has been because of steroids, I just wonder like why you're 23 years old or whatever you are, like what's the point? Like you're talented enough. You don't. And I actually talked to this guy at the bar about it, and he's like, well, he's just trying to get a competitive advantage. It's like, if you're 22 or 23 years old and you're trying to get a competitive advantage, like, you're probably a sorry player. Like, to me, I can understand it when you're at that cusp of, like, maybe being out of the league, and you want to do something like this, that's a little more understandable. But when you're a stud young player like he is, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, especially these days.
But so that being said, you still think that he did this on purpose, or do you think he knew? I
would be shocked, or I shouldn't say I should be shocked. I can't imagine that if he, is as good as he was without this, that he would need to do this.
I'll tell you this right now. He, him missing 80 games is going to hurt his game, I think, short term.
Yeah.
But let's say he long term can't play the same way he was playing before, it's not going to be a good look.
Yeah, no, I think that's going
Won't
to
be a Hall of
very
Fame
telling
caliber
thing.
player.
And I think he's gonna have to deal with the media big time. They're gonna be hard on him for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he plays in a big market. I know San Diego's not like the LA,
Right.
but I mean San Diego. It's
The
still-
Padres are a hot topic these days.
Absolutely.
And not just because of him.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But hey, some people just can't control themselves.
And and our boy Barry Bonds. I mean, we love Barry.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like people will say, "Oh, you guys are Giants fans. You support Barry Bonds." It's like, okay, it's a different time. Like when in the '90s, Major League Baseball wasn't really frowning upon steroid use. They were basically accepting it and just using it to drive their viewership.
And did Barry ever test negative? Or test positive for it?
I want to say he might have been on the Mitchell report, but they never claimed. He never admitted to anything.
Of course.
There was like the whole thing, like, I never knowingly took anything, which is bullshit. But that's what they claimed, and they could never prove anything against that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a different time, and I think A-Rod's right that guys, especially given the way it's viewed these days, baseball wants the game to be as clean as possible, whether that's
Of course.
actually true or not, or they're just
Any-
saying that.
I think any sport would say that.
Right.
Whether, like you said, whether they believe, whether they are lying.
Yeah,
or
they're
not.
gonna say it. So, and that's what they want their fans to believe, is that they want it to be as clean as possible. So every time this happens, it's gonna be a really, really bad look. It wasn't necessarily the case 10, 15, 20 years ago, but it is that way now.
So this is bummer news for baseball and for the Padres, but as us Giants fans, it's like
I know. I mean,
in a shitty way, this is our chance.
And I have family members that are Padres fans, and I've never really hated the Padres. They've always just been kind of like our little brother, little brother down south.
Yeah.
But now that they're good, I mean, this just kind of makes them easy to root against
Yeah.
as a Giants fan. So we'll see how it goes for them.
Yeah.
Other Padres news though, Josh Hader is really struggling. He's not the all-world closer that they traded for.
And I heard something on the radio. It's almost like the Brewers knew something was up.
Well, okay, so it's funny you mentioned that because he's pitched 5 times for the Padres this year, or has five appearances, and has a 16.2 ERA.
16.
Yeah.
1-6.
16.20.
That's
Awful.
That's incredibly high.
That's like a joke. That's like a number you just don't see.
No.
Like if you pitch a full season and a guy's got a 16 ERA, he shouldn't be pitching.
Exactly. Yeah. What's a bad ERA for a starting pitcher that starts 20 games?
If you're over
4 or
5,
5,
if you're over 5, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So
16.
So yeah, we're talking about 16. So that's 3 times that much.
And he's a closer.
And he's a closer.
He only pitches what, maybe 2, 3 innings at the
and
most.
this guy over his career has been one of the most dominant pitchers, in history. So it's funny you mentioned that about whether the Brewers knew that or not, because if you combine his last 6 outings with the Brewers and these 5 outings with the Padres, he's got an 18.78 ERA over that span as well. So he really struggled with the Brewers before they traded him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but before that, I mean, he has the highest strikeout rate in Major League Baseball history among qualified pitchers at 43.7%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Highest in league history.
And there was that one year, was it the year that Yelich won the MVP when the Brewers were pretty good and he was kind of at his peak?
Yeah. I mean, he's really been at his peak for the last, 3-4 years.
And how far did they make, was it the playoffs where the Dodgers won the World Series?
Yeah, I mean,
They lost to the
no, that was the year that the Dodgers lost to
the Red Sox?
Not the Astros. Or the Red Sox,
Okay.
yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. 2018.
Because he was mean.
Yeah. That was probably his breakout year, I would say. But yeah, and with the Padres, he only struck out 4 of the 22 batters he faced, so that's 18% versus his 44% career rate.
That's
So,
bad.
yeah.
That's really bad.
So something weird is going on there.
Weird.
And who knows if the Brewers knew something, and maybe we'll find something out. Because they didn't, the Padres had a save opportunity yesterday against the Nationals, and they did not bring him out to close it down.
Did they win the game?
They did win the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what that means. They're going to keep riding the other guy.
Yeah,
Right?
Nick Martinez is the guy who came out, which I don't even know if he would normally be the option, but could have just been
He's the option right now.
day of situation. But yeah, Padres are in trouble, which makes things interesting for the Giants. Obviously, the Padres are still in a playoff spot right now, but I don't like. It feels like a meltdown is on the way.
The Giants have been so bad.
They've been so.
They don't even deserve to be in the conversation for playoffs. They should be like that one coach who said, "Playoffs,
yeah.
playoffs." Like,
Well,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing too is that we've got the extra wild card spot this year. And that's really the only reason that we'd be talking about the Giants.
Yeah.
Other National League West news: the Dodgers have lost Walker Buehler for the year.
I did hear about this.
This happened about a week or so ago.
Is this going to affect the Dodgers at all long term?
So it's interesting because he's only made 12 starts. He's had a 4 ERA in that span, which is not his normal self. He was awesome last year. I think he had like a 2.3 ERA.
You could debate he's been the ace.
Yeah.
With Clayton Kershaw. Being
Yeah, he absolutely was not that this year.
And then Clayton's, he's older. But
Right.
Clayton Kershaw's still Clayton Kershaw.
Exactly. Yeah, he was a little iffy in his 12 starts this year. And so I don't know if they're going to miss him. They did just get Dustin May back.
I saw that.
And he pitched really, really well in his first start of the season. I think it was on Saturday against the Marlins.
It's just the rich get richer with the Dodgers.
They have some pretty incredible depth. I mean, the fact that you got guys like Tony Gonsolin who were nobody draft picks and they're turning in. He's an all-star this year. Tyler Anderson, who was a minor league free agent pickup. That was at Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada's great. It's my favorite beer ever.
Their 4 top guys in innings pitched all have ERAs below 3, which is pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, they're pretty set in the pitching department.
And they are on track or close to the all-time record for wins.
I did the math the other day. I think they're on pace for like 112 or 113 wins.
And the record's 115.
116.
116.
Yeah.
So that's doable.
They're in they got to stay hot, but they're in range for sure.
Hopefully for us, they could pull what the Mariners did when they won 116
and didn't do well in the playoffs.
Lose in the divisional round.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Atlanta and New York are big threats to them in the playoffs. But the Dodgers have been incredible this year.
Wouldn't it be just poetic justice if the Giants could go to the playoffs and beat them somehow?
That would be super awesome. The thing is, like, and we're going to talk about the Giants right now, but even if they went on some kind of run and maybe even one of the teams above them fell apart and that was the reason they made the playoffs, I don't look at this team and think that they have any chance. Like, I think they could beat the Brewers and the Cardinals, but any other team in the playoffs, I don't think they have a chance. Even if the Padres were made the playoffs and they had to play the Padres in the series, I think the Padres would cakewalk them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate to say that, but
no, I mean, it's true.
Sometimes you got to be real.
I mean, how many times have we watched the Giants or have I listened to the Giants and they just blow it? They blow it.
Their bullpen has been atrocious.
It's been piss poor.
Yeah, they blow.
It's been bad.
Dave Fleming said after they blew that 6-2 lead yesterday when they eventually won, that he's like, the bullpen has been giving up some leads lately, and I was like, yeah, they fucking have. That's an understatement, Dave.
Well, they feel the same way.
Yeah, when you got to watch it every single day, man.
It's bad.
And Dave is probably a true Giants fan at heart too. Like he's probably grown into that.
Because he's like from the area.
I don't think he is originally.
He went to Stanford.
He did go to Stanford, but I think he's from the East Coast originally.
Oh no, he's from
like Virginia or something.
He's from like D.C.
Yeah, I think he's from that area.
Yeah, I remember them talking about I think a Nationals game.
But being over here for this long, he's probably grown into be a true Giants fan. And I not that I would think that Dwayne and Kruko are not as well. But.
So let's say you were Dave Fleming, and you're from San Francisco, like you are, or from the Bay Area, and you got a job to work for the Marlins, let's say in Florida. Do you think that you would be such a fan of the Marlins working for them that you could forget about the Giants, or not forget, but like the Mariners more, or the Marlins, excuse me, the Marlins more than the Giants?
It's tough. It would probably take a long time for me to get to that point. Like, given that I've reached this point that I have as a fan of the Giants.
It'd be hard for me. I'd probably say no. I mean, I'd say I'd probably bleed orange.
Yeah. I would always be a Giants fan, and, they would at least be on my radar all the time, at the very minimum. Even if I eventually was working for the Marlins for longer than I had been a Giants fan to that point. But yeah, I think the Giants will always...
Of course.
will forever have a place. Even if I moved to another city and had to, kind of forced myself to become a fan of the team that was there, I'd still have the Giants. It would be hard for me to move to another National League city and become a big fan of that team. I feel like if I moved to like say Minnesota or something like that, I could jump. I would have an easier time jumping on the Twins bandwagon than I would go into say St. Louis and just being a diehard Cardinals fan.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't I respect the Cardinals organization for everything they've done. But
And you're talking just strictly like just moving there, not like working for them.
Just even being in the area.
Oh no, I mean, I think American League team I could work kind of like pull Zoe and root for both.
Right.
But I mean, if I moved to Minnesota or something like that, I'm rocking Giants stuff more than ever.
Yeah, I'm still gonna support my guys, but
I'd probably also go to.
I'd go to plenty of Twins games.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go to Twins games
convenient.
that aren't playing the Giants. They probably never play the Giants.
Yeah, although it's gonna happen every year starting next year.
Yes.
Can't wait for that. I'm excited.
I want to go to a Yankee game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fun.
They're gonna come every other year.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I mean, I know you guys saw him play the Yankees, but I've never seen him play the Yankees.
I hope they're smart too, and they rotate the schedule of coming to the Bay Area, like with the A's and Giants. So like they won't come to Oakland and San Francisco in the same year, and then not come at all the next year, right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would just think that they would come here, and the next year we'd go there.
That's what's going to happen. But as far as like the A's, like since obviously we're in the same vicinity, I think that would be smart if they did that rotation as well.
Look at this boy right here.
Daniel Vogelbach.
This
guy's a unit.
This guy looks like an offensive lineman.
He probably played tackle in high school at least.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's not very tall, but he's thick.
He reminds me of the dude who played for Fullerton.
Oh yeah, Chamberlain. What was his first name? Jace Chamberlain.
Jumbo.
Yeah, Jumbo.
Jumbo Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was kind of thinking about that moment the other day. That was pretty awesome.
That was
pretty
I mean, that was a walk-off home run.
It was.
But I don't count. It's not not the Giants. Yeah. That was a cool game.
That was fun. All right, let's blow through this Giants talk. So, luckily, we do not have to suffer through a Giants game tonight. They are 6-4 in this stretch of games against sub 500 teams, which we talked about this last episode, how they were going to get this opportunity to make up some ground on the teams ahead of them. They haven't really done that.
Yeah.
We did narrowly avoid our 5th 5-game losing streak of the season yesterday against Colorado, like we mentioned, with an extra inning win. Even though they tried to blow it.
This has to be the first extra inning win the Giants have had in 7 years. Yeah. It feels like they always lose. Or no, I won't say 7 years. That's an exaggeration. Yeah. I'll say since the runner goes on second in extras. Yeah. They don't win these games.
I will say it's really hard to win these games when you're on the road.
Because if you don't get
you don't score, or if you don't score 2 really in your top of the half, it makes it much easier for the bottom.
If you don't score in the top half, all they have to do in the bottom half is get a base hit. Game's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless it's a shallow base hit, or it's.
Or yeah, exactly. No, I'm with you.
I'm just. Are they going to get rid of this rule?
Hopefully next year. They was supposed to be gone this year, and then last minute they decided to re-implement it.
And I don't care. Some people don't like. People don't like the pace of play and how long games are.
I don't care at all.
I don't care at all because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see my team lose because the runner on second.
Yeah, and this rule was put in place more for not having to use up pitchers as much. And it was more of a COVID thing because if you had to burn pitchers and then the next day, half of your team's got COVID, then you would be really screwed.
Okay.
So that was more what it was about. Yankees win. And Vogelbach's not happy. He's about to throw some hands at the umpire. But yeah, that was more what it was about. So I was really shocked and a little bit disappointed that they brought it back for this year. But I'm pretty certain it's going to be gone after this year.
They have to. And I know the old heads of baseball, they don't like this.
No.
If I don't like it, they don't like it.
Right. I would be sort of okay if they started it, say, in the 12th inning.
Okay.
But I just don't like ending a game with free runners on base.
I'll put you like this. If they don't do it at all in the playoffs,
Oh, they don't, and they won't, and they
And
haven't.
if they don't do it then, which I get why they don't do it at that point, they shouldn't do it at all.
Right.
Because to me, in the playoffs, it means like it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like we have to play the game how it's supposed to be played, which is how I think is top of the ninth or top of the 10th.
Yeah.
Nobody's on base and you're
You
swinging.
should have to work.
You got to work for
it.
it. You're talking to two guys that have been to an 18-inning game. We have sat through a doubleheader's worth of extra innings.
And don't get me wrong, that game was unbelievably and ridiculously long, but it was still a fun experience.
I will tell my grandkids if I ever have it that I went to 18 innings worth of baseball.
And we had to stay there.
And it wasn't a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ashley.
and our boys won.
And there was a fireworks show at 1 in the morning.
Yes. I think that was the best part.
That was the best part.
I was like wondering if they were going to do it. And then we're walking to the parking lot, boom, boom, boom.
Every inning that would change, it would say, stay tuned for fireworks. I'm like, they're really going to set these off right now after 18 large?
No. Well, I got to say the people that are on the boat in the bay are like, I mean, we came out here, we ain't not doing it.
Those guys drinking Bud Lights out there. You know?
Oh, 100%. It got more exciting as long as the game went. Or longer the game
Shout out to Ashley, because she wanted to lead after like 14.
Oh, she was over it. It's like, we came for fireworks, actually.
In that game, it ended because Belt looked like he got tagged out at the
it was a close play, for sure.
After 18, then they had to replay it and the game was over.
Yeah.
Because he almost hit a home run that was probably, triples
Which
out.
would be a home run now because they changed the dimensions since then.
Triples alley and it was probably off, hit the 2 feet, foot and a half.
Yeah, it was up there.
I remember when they went to replay, I'm like, dude, we're going to be here for another inning. I know it.
Ah, I blew it.
I got it. Oh.
Thank you.
Yes. On to some... Oh, no, wait.
I have a bold prediction. Oh, wait, no. We got a couple more things to talk about. So the Giants are 16-61, 6 games out of the wild card. Not looking great, but still not over. Got 1/4 of the season left. 2-game series in Detroit starts tomorrow. We don't play the Tigers very often, so that's different. And then they'll be heading to Minnesota this weekend for a series.
We never forget 2012.
Boom, you're right. Also, the Giants will be starting a stretch of series next Monday against San Diego. Then we'll play the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Brewers, all teams in the playoff mix. So that's going to determine the fate of the playoff hopes at this point. I know I've said this a bunch of times. We have so many important games, but at this point, it's do or die.
They are not going to beat the Dodgers for the rest of the season.
Oh, if they get swept, I won't be shocked. The thing is, like, they're playing all those 3 wild card teams that they'll be fighting for that last spot with.
If they can make it work,
I want to have hope, but I don't. This team is not good. They're not good.
It's not good.
I mean, they're really like if you take out the first, I think, 15 games of the season, they're like a 10 game below 500 team, pretty much.
Awful.
Not good.
Awful.
Not good. So, I'm ready for a bold prediction.
But one more thing before that.
Okay.
So I do have some baseball talk.
Oh boy.
Your boy, Albert Pujols. He is getting close to 700 home runs for his career.
Yes.
You see that he hit 2 off Bumgarner a couple nights
I
ago?
did.
Off our boy.
Yeah.
Our old Bumgarner. Throw him a towel.
And Bert didn't pimp him either. He was respectful. He didn't want to get yelled at
Yeah.
by the old horse.
Hey, Bumgarner, is he washed?
Oh, big time.
Okay.
He's been washed since
2014.
since the first year he joined the Diamondbacks.
Do you think Bert is going to hit 700 this year?
I do not.
Do you think
I would love to see him get there, but I do not think so.
is he going to come back and try to? I think he should come back and try to get it.
I don't think he's going to because it would be kind of stupid for him to say that he's going to retire and then come back for that. But
Oh, so he said he's going to retire?
yeah. Although, did you hear that Miguel Cabrera wants to come back next year? And he's been awful, like bad at the plate. Like at least Albert has been decent this year.
I want Albert to get 700.
I want him to get it, but I don't. I mean, he's got to hit what 9 more?
Do you think he's going to pass A-Rod?
Because A-Rod's what 696.
696. Is he at 693 right now?
I think it's 691.
691. He's
I don't think. I actually I hope he passes A-Rod. I think that's much more doable. Obviously, it's more doable because it's a lesser number, but
Yeah.
I think that is doable.
okay.
But I wouldn't expect it.
He has
I mean,
700.
he's got a hot streak.
He has.
You're right.
700's asking a lot.
Yeah.
He had 2 in a game, which helps.
And the thing for the Cardinals too is like if he gets cold, they're in the thick of the playoff race. They're not going to play him if he's not producing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just going to be tough.
You always got the good points.
I'm just
man. You think of more things than I do.
I don't see him getting to 70 because that's 9 more. That would be a pace of, because we got a quarter of the season left. That would be a 36 homer pace at an everyday rate.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think he's going to play every day.
It'd be a great story though.
It would be awesome.
You know
I'd love
me.
to see it.
You know me. I love my stories.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, but I don't think so.
So you got a bold prediction?
I do.
Lay it on me.
So we have a certain friend that has a certain family member that plays in Major League Baseball. Could you guess who those people are?
You talking about Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Ridley.
Yeah, who's she related to?
She's related to Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah, right. So Rowdy's having a pretty nice year. I think he's got 26 home runs, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a good year.
I am predicting that Rowdy, product of Sacramento, Elk Grove High, is going to be an all-star for the National League next year for the Brewers.
Wow.
I have a feeling he's getting right into his prime. Next year he's going to be eligible for arbitration for the first time, so he's going to get a nice payday. He's going to be feeling good. He's going to be waking up feeling better than he ever has going into a game day.
Okay.
On a regular basis. Maybe get a new car, new house, whatever you need to do, Rowdy. But I got faith that the big fella is going to be an all-star. And mind you, the National League is loaded with great first basemen, which is the position that Rowdy plays.
Yeah.
We got Pete Alonso, Paul Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman, all playing first base.
Paul Goldschmidt's playing well this year.
He's on MVP pace right now. But nonetheless, I like Rowdy to have. He's kind of having his semi-breakout this year, but he's going to have his big breakout next year. Yeah. I'm thinking 40 homers next year for Rowdy, making the All-Star team. Do it for Northern California.
I have an even bigger
Where are you going?
Bold prediction. We will have Rowdy Tellez on this show sometime.
Whoa, I love that. I really like that a lot.
We have the connection. I think it's somewhat...
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. I think it's
impossible.
very possible. He looks like a guy who could drink a ton of beers, and I think this is right up his alley.
Oh, Rowdy would toss him back with us.
I think, yeah.
I love that prediction.
Thank you. I also want to take a shot with you anyways, but I kind of thought, like, I mean, he's a ball player. He ain't gonna. It's possible, but I mean, come on.
He is your age.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. He graduated the same year as you from high school.
That dude looks like he's 35.
He's a tank, bro. He's a unit.
Can you check out what day his birthday actually is?
Yeah,
like, am I older than Rowdy Tellez? If I am, that's just gross. Because he looks like he's a grown ass man. And I'm not a grown ass man.
We're getting to that age where we are the same age as grown ass men. All right, his birthday is March 16th, 95. So he's got about a month on you. A little less than a month.
No, I'm April.
Yeah, so less than a month. Because you're 95.
Oh, what did you say? Oh, March.
March 16th.
Oh, he's got a month on me. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw September and I thought it was his birthday.
No, that was
his
his
debut.
His debut. Yeah.
Oh man, are you serious? Oh, this guy would vibe with us.
Oh, big time.
For sure.
They list him at 6'4", 255.
Jeez.
He's a tank.
It's huge. Rowdy. Should we tag him in our next ISR post?
Fuck it, why not?
I'll do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on.
Yeah, we might need Alex to help us out.
Oh, without a doubt. Maybe we'll get Alex on first and then Rowdy.
Yeah.
What's his real name actually?
His name is Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Man, that's a badass name though, Rowdy.
Rowdy, right?
You're telling me his name is Rowdy. He doesn't drink beers.
Oh, he gets after it.
He has to get after it. So what is this right here?
This is peanut butter whiskey from Sonoma Coast Spirits. Small batch.
Very small batch.
It's not Jefferson's Reserve, but it's interesting.
Do you realize that we're 45 minutes in and we haven't touched the NFL yet?
We're cruising, baby.
Cheers.
2 hours. That's a little more like whiskey than peanut butter whiskey.
It's not good. Well, Ugh. I'm not a coffee guy, but I think that would go good with coffee.
Yeah, if you made like an
I should
Irish,
probably hit that light behind it.
Irish
It's
coffee,
getting kind of dark in here.
it is.
Not too much. Should I do that one?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it would go good with coffee. It wasn't as sweet as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're getting rowdy on.
Speaking of rowdy. Yeah, we're getting rowdy on. That was fun. All right, you ready to move on from baseball?
Oh, we're still doing this? Yes, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
NFL, Deshaun Watson, nobody's boy, has been suspended for 11 games now, and with a $5 million fine, which I believe is the highest fine for a player in NFL history.
Which is also like taking a nickel out of his pocket.
You know, with that guaranteed contract, it's not much.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's... So they mutually agreed upon the NFL, or mutually agreed upon by the NFL and NFLPA, so there'll be no appeal. Watson will be eligible to return in Week 13 against his former team, the Houston Texans. Which,
Not fishy at all.
which, yeah, let me get into this right now. Which this has been talked about, but come on, are you kidding me? Because so there was this. So Devin was the one who kind of brought this to my attention. There was a conspiracy. Her conspiracy was I think it was the Goodell conspiracy.
Okay.
About how did Roger Goodell have this person, the judge, have him suspended 6 games so Goodell could come in and look like the hero and be like, it has to be more.
I think that's a fair conspiracy.
Because Goodell already has this reputation of being, you know, kind of a douche.
Right. Just not great. Yeah.
Not great.
Not great.
So I think it's, you know, again, you're not a conspiracy guy.
No.
I kind of am.
I don't think that's a terribly far-fetched conspiracy though. I think that's kind of on.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Appreciate that. And this whole thing about him just happened to come back to play the Texans. This is Goodell.
That
also,
makes it
This is
worse.
also Goodell pulling his strings in a wrong way.
Sorry, Albert just missed a home
Oh,
run.
I just missed it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was like, what are you talking about? It's fishy. It's
Yeah.
very fishy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I apologize for me talking because it's just not
Yeah.
working right now.
No, but yeah, you're right. It's just
Like, really? You're going to come back against Texans?
yeah, it just seems way too perfect. It's going to be a huge, perfect media, driven situation.
And I've heard the argument that, you know, maybe he picked that because it's not a high-profile game because maybe no one will watch it. And that might be the truth, but still, like, you just happen to...
Oh, every Texan fan is going to want to see what their old boy does against their team.
And I don't know if this game's going to be in Cleveland or in Houston, but there's going to be boos.
Dinger?
Pujols.
Oh, he did hit one.
He hit one.
Okay, so he's up to. Let's see. I think that one's number 692.
Dude. Do you want to take back what you said?
No.
He's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's stroking it. Anyways.
It's just all, it's a little fishy to me and I don't really like it.
No, I don't like it at all.
On both ends.
Yeah. I mean, the 11 game number doesn't, I mean, it's a weird number for one. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't shock me. I think the NFL made a smart decision on their end to agree with the Players Association on this number rather than, just saying, hey, we're going to do this. I don't care what you guys think, and then getting an appeal or a lawsuit. So I think they were smart in that regard, but at the same time, I think we're still short when it comes to the amount of games that he should have gotten.
Yeah. So that being said, what would you ideally?
I mean, he should have been done for the year.
I think we said that.
And we said
it
the last episode, yeah. So I mean, I don't really have much more opinions on this because it's just like, fuck this guy. He probably should go to ISR.
I was gonna say we should probably put him in ISR jail.
We might have to think about it before we just do it, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
He's scum.
What?
I said he's scum.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's scum. Yeah. Also, Baker Mayfield has been named the
Former Brown.
Former Brown has been named the Panthers' Week 1 starter, and funny enough, he's gonna be playing against the Browns.
Yeah, I think that's I can't imagine Sam Darnold beating him out in camp. Just when they acquired him, I was like,
He's gonna start.
Baker's better. I don't think there's any question.
I do think Baker had to earn his way.
Agreed, but just going into it, I was like, how is Sam Darnold going to outplay this guy in camp?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. So Bird is at 693. He's 4 away from passing Alex Rodriguez, 3 from.
I think that's doable.
I think that. I would say that will happen. Okay. 700. I'm not going to put my money on that.
That's fair.
But if he passes A-Rod, that would be 4th most in Major League history. Crazy.
That's
crazy.
Just add to that Hall of Fame resume.
Yep, he's just racking them up. It is kind of a bummer that Albert has become this guy that's just like, he's just another guy. He's been that since he left the Cardinals initially. Like, it's been a long time. Because if you were a fan of baseball, in our era, early 2000s, he was, outside of Barry Bonds, he was the guy. Like, he was winning MVPs every other year.
He's probably one of the best right-handed hitters of all time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But his drop-off was so steep when he left the Cardinals.
Yeah. So Lamar Jackson is still without a contract extension heading into the final year of his rookie contract. Has been offered a contract worth more than Kyler Murray's and can be franchise tagged next season. I heard he wants all guaranteed money like Deshaun does.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a funny situation because a lot of NFL owners are upset with the Browns for giving Deshaun Watson this contract fully guaranteed because for one, it's never happened before. And 2, it's changing the landscape of what quarterbacks might get going forward.
Yeah,
it's kind of screwing things up, and I don't blame the Ravens for not wanting to fully guarantee a contract for a guy that he hasn't been terribly injury prone in his career so far, but he's a runner at heart. Like that's what makes him as good as he is. Yeah. And you got to think
he's a dual threat.
He's a dual threat, so you got to think that he's a very high risk when it comes to this situation. So I don't know. It's a weird thing going on. And the other thing is Lamar doesn't have a true agent. Like, his mom kind of represents him, but he also represents himself in negotiations. So that makes it a lot tougher as well.
Which I think could hurt him.
I think it does.
Long term.
Yeah, I think it does. And he's been, a model citizen in this whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
Reporting to camp, practicing and all that. But
that being said, I can't imagine any situation where the Ravens don't.
They got it.
They have to.
I mean, unless something really bad happens to him this year, because it sounds like he is not willing to negotiate any longer this preseason. I mean, and that's not to say that something couldn't happen between now and opening day, but yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, this could be big for him and the team.
So going back to Cleveland real quick, do you think? I know Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter for the next 11 games.
Right.
Do you think Jimmy G goes to Cleveland?
I don't think so. I think I don't think they want to bring on that contract, considering the fact that Deshaun's going to be on the books, and I don't think they would be willing to offer the Niners, what they would want for him as well.
Oh, okay.
I think the Niners are in a kind of shitty situation with this Jimmy G thing, given that he had to have surgery, so that delayed things because he wasn't healthy.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of leverage because there's not a lot of openings for a starting quarterback. I mean, the only teams I can think of are like the Giants, because Daniel Jones. I just don't see Daniel Jones being the guy.
He's not.
And then
I don't think he is.
Yeah, and then the Falcons, but they also drafted a quarterback and have a guy that is sort of that Jimmy G already in Marcus Mariota, where he's the stopgap. So, and then Seattle, which is in division, which makes things harder to negotiate as well.
Yeah.
So I think the Niners don't have a ton of leverage right now.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
On to the NBA. A couple quick notes. The NBA retired Bill Russell's number 6 league-wide. League-wide. So players who currently do wear the number 6 right now, like LeBron James or I think Alex Caruso, I think for the Bulls still wears number 6.
They'll get to keep those, right?
They're grandfathered in.
Mm-hmm.
But from here on out, after that, nobody will wear number 6 again. And I think this is a good,
I like that.
Good thing by the NBA to do. And Russell joins Jackie Robinson and Wayne Gretzky as athletes to have their numbers retired league-wide.
Yeah.
You know, Jackie and Bill kind of had more of the civil rights movement type thing and all that going for them, on top of them being great players.
Right. Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky was just really...
It was just the man.
Was just the
was
man.
just the great one.
Well, he is the great one. So, gotta mention Bill Russell back-to-back episodes.
Well
because
deserved.
this is a big deal.
That's well
This has
deserved.
never been happening in the NBA. And some people, it could happen with Michael Jordan. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I know when Kobe passed away, people were like, "Oh, we should retire 24 league-wide." And
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just like a
prisoner
yeah,
of the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So shout out to Bill Russell. It's great.
Yeah. Well deserved.
I am not going to no talking shit about number 6 today because I know we don't like it.
No, I mean, I think sarcastically we won't care because we both don't like the number 6 by itself.
This means for sure LeBron's not going to change his number back because he's like, well, I'm one of the guys.
Right,
who
exactly.
has it now,
Yeah. He'll be that dude.
So shout out to Bill Russell. It's great. Also, speaking of LeBron, he signs a 2-year, $97 million contract extension with the Lakers. That's
Some dough.
some cheese.
I heard that this passes Kevin Durant to make him the highest earning NBA player of all time. Which is just going to go back and forth until they both retire.
He has the most guaranteed money, which exceeded over $500 million.
Yeah, crazy.
On top of him already being a billionaire.
Yeah.
Shout out to LeBron. I mean, it's, I don't know how you feel as a Laker fan about this.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be happy with LeBron on your team, for one? But at the same time, they're in a weird situation with this Russell Westbrook thing, which LeBron, I think, dug that grave for themselves.
They weren't not going to pay him.
Exactly. Like, if you have the ability to control LeBron being on your team, you're going to do it.
Exactly.
I don't care that he's going to be 38 next year or whatever.
He'll still be effective.
Yeah, he's going to be a great player.
He'll still be one of the best players in the league.
I guess the only downside is that you can't expect him to play a full season in the regular season, which I think that did hurt the Lakers a little bit last year.
Yeah.
But he's still LeBron James. He hasn't really changed much over the last 5 years,
Yeah.
if we're being honest.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think just another year for the Lakers and LeBron. We'll see what happens.
And speaking of the Lakers, one more note. Pau Gasol is going to have his number retired, number 16, by the Lakers this upcoming March. I think this is well deserved.
I was thinking the same thing.
I thought this was
very good.
I thought this was going to be a long time. I thought this was a long time coming. He was a huge part of that back-to-back team that won the championship, and they went to 3 straight. They could have three-peated.
Yeah, because I mean, before the Lakers got Pau Gasol, they were just consistently Kobe and nobody else.
And Kobe, and that was post Shaq, and Kobe couldn't do shit with anybody
Right.
else.
Yeah. Like, I think that kind of proved that, trading away Shaq was not the best thing for the team, but getting Pau Gasol was a huge get. For
Absolutely.
That. And he was a major factor.
I think this is well deserved. He's going to be a Hall of Fame basketball player when it's all said and done.
Yeah, he deserved
well
it.
deserved.
Especially being one of the best European players that we've had.
And I think the saddest part about this is that Kobe's not going to be there for this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He'll be there in spirit, but I think I'm sure Pau will mention it.
100%.
I'm sure Kobe's wife, kids are going to be there to
Right.
root him on, and
No doubt.
but I've always liked Pau Gasol. I've always liked big white guys players. I know he's not like white.
He was very skilled for his size too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wasn't like that mid 2000s just bruiser down low. He could shoot the ball.
Well, his brother was kind of like that too.
Yeah, but Mark was actually more of a traditional like center. That was more of a he can get you a bucket here and there.
Mark kind of reminded me of Jokic. Jokic is way more,
Yes,
way
as
more
far as the style,
but
style.
Jokic obviously is more polished.
Yeah, much
of a
more
player.
skilled. Yeah.
So shout out to Gasol. It's great.
Yep.
NASCAR news.
Yep. We're gonna do that. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time for NASCAR. So we have one more race before the playoffs start. Yep. So one regular season race left.
That came up quick.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of we pushed NASCAR aside for a little bit.
That's okay.
We haven't done a full update in a while, but we're gonna do one right now.
Yes, we are.
Your boy Kyle Larson coming off a W.
Kyle Larson, baby.
second win of the season. He got that yesterday at Watkins Glen, one of the handful of road courses on the schedule.
Which I think he won last year.
He did, back to back. Also, we're on fire here right now. I had Kevin Harvick win the previous 2 races.
Yes.
So we're both looking good. Although I'm still well behind in the standings. The house standings go Garrett with 56, you with 50.
Watch out, Garrett.
Yeah,
you
you're
better
coming.
watch out.
Garrett had a very cozy lead for a while.
does not
It
now.
is not.
It's not cozy anymore.
Not, yeah, it's getting a little stiff.
Yes.
And then we have Ashley and Dylan coming in tied for third at 39 points. And then myself at 34. Alex at 27, which I believe this might be the first time ever we've reported on NASCAR house standings and not said her name last.
Shout out, Alex.
Ever.
Get rowdy on the show.
Yes. So she's at 27, and then Danny coming in at the rear with 23.
Darts.
Michael Jordan.
Jordan number.
Cheers to that. So that's where we have it right now. So
Hey, Danny, I know you're listening.
Mhm.
I'm going to mention this next time I see you, which will probably be on Saturday night.
Maybe that's why he didn't text me back, because I sent him the standings. He's like, fuck this, I don't care anymore.
Then I'm over it. He's like, I didn't pick these guys.
Yeah.
Who are his guys?
He's got Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, which Busch is having a good year, but he hasn't scored in a while.
Okay.
No. So drivers in our pool that need a win to make the playoffs are Martin Truex, who Dylan has, Austin Dillon, who is with Danny, and then Brad Keselowski, who is with Alex.
Can I just tell you, I saw Keselowski has 1 point for Alex.
He is having a bad.
I am
Really
I mean, I wasn't going to keep Brad over Keller.
Yeah, especially.
I mean,
after,
Brad was my day one.
especially after last year.
But seeing that, I'm like, ooh,
That's right.
I am glad that guy's not anywhere near my team anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, he joined Roush Racing, and they formed. He's a part owner of that team, and they have had a really tough time. He got actually docked a bunch of points in the real standings.
Yeah.
For violation. So he's having a tough year. Also, Ashley, who has Ryan Blaney, he's third in the overall points, but he could miss the playoffs if any driver who has not won a race this year wins at Daytona this coming week, and which would be crazy because he's third in the points. So top 16 make the playoffs, but wins are the first factor in making the playoffs.
Okay.
So and he has 0 wins is why he's on the block.
So he is third in points, like in NASCAR.
in total points, yes.
But he has not won a race.
But he's not won a race. So he's on the chopping block this week. If
They played 2 at Daytona?
they do 2 races at Daytona, yeah. This second race used to be always on 4th of July weekend, which was kind of cool, but they've since moved it to the last race of the regular season.
And I know we've talked about it, but I just feel like, and I do think what NASCAR does with Daytona, like the first race of the season, I think it's an interesting way to. Cause I think that's their Super Bowl.
In a way, yes. It's
But it's the first game
It's
of
the
the season.
biggest, yeah. The
Or
biggest
first
event.
race.
Yeah.
I don't want to say game.
Biggest event.
Biggest event of the season.
Yeah.
But if they do it twice, do they do Daytona first and last?
No.
They don't.
Well, first regular season, last regular season now. But that wasn't always the case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They used to do a first race of the season, and then they would do one early July, for 4th of July weekend, which was like generally the halfway point.
Well, I was gonna say because if that's how they've always done it, they might as well just try to push Daytona to be the last race of the season all the time.
I think nowadays, especially because Daytona is a restrictor plate race, which is a race that, in theory, evens the playing field for everybody. They don't want that to be the determining factor of the season, because now, like, the last race is the championship race where whoever wins the championship essentially.
Yeah.
They don't want that to be the factor.
And I'm sure the reasoning that NASCAR does Daytona big first game or first race is because there's probably nothing really going on.
Yeah, it's
Post Super Bowl.
It's one of those things that just gets you juiced for the NASCAR season, and naturally, I think unless you're a big NASCAR fan and the interest does naturally fade throughout the season. Like, I mean, even for us, like I don't necessarily pay super close attention every week.
I feel like every Sunday, when I can remember, I'll check the.
Just
the
see what happens.
standings,
Yeah, you see what happens, but you're not like tuning into the race.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But Daytona, it's like
You watch a good amount of the race, maybe. Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
or we try to get together and we try to have a
You
Daytona.
make a thing of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it is one of those weird things that NASCAR has for it's going for itself.
Yeah.
But I think Daytona is a super fun way to start the season. There's no question.
Also, we're making big steps I think Daytona. We should do.
We gotta go.
We gotta
bro.
go Daytona. We've been
I
saying
want
this
to go
for
so
years.
bad.
Like, fuck going to a Quakes game. Let's go to Daytona.
Oh, that's
Like,
that.
I'm done talking about the Quakes.
Like,
Can I put the Quakes in ISR jail? Can I talk about?
yeah, because they suck.
No. Can I put us going to another game on this podcast in the jail?
We can't talk about it unless it's real plans.
Okay.
No, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're tired of us talking about this.
Bro, I've been shooting it out there. I feel like pretty much every year for the last like 5 years. I think
I think we could get a good group.
I think Nick and James would be down.
Nick and James would go.
They would be down, and they probably have friends that would be down.
Oh fuck yeah.
That they live with or live near. And I think Danny would be down.
Danny would be down.
We could maybe get Dylan.
I think
Dylan and Taylor.
Yeah.
And
I think Sean would
And
go.
Sean, yeah.
I bet you Brady would go.
If yeah. We're not going to be able to do it next year because
No.
we're going to France, Mr. Passport.
Are we gonna mention that or should we wait?
We can do it.
Well,
so-
no, we'll wait because we're
Yeah, we'll talk about PSG in the last call, but yeah, fuck, dude, Daytona would be so.
Daytona
sick.
is in Florida.
Yep.
That's
Daytona Beach.
That's doable.
Yeah, so doable.
Should we just get a fucking van?
No, that's the thing.
Pick the boys up in Texas.
That was our original.
Was
like,
it?
the first
That
time we
would
ever
be-
thought about it? That was our plan.
That would just be so fun to just drive. Like, you know what? Like, we're on our way to pick the boys up, and we're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
fucking Florida.
So get an RV, and just do it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
That would be so fun.
Oh, it would be so. You can actually even just go to Florida, and then rent an RV that they'll have for you at the race already.
Oh, so you want to get like in the middle of the race?
Well, I mean, if we're doing it, we're doing it.
I mean, yeah.
We'll go for the whole week. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to make a week out of it. Like at least get there no
You'd have
later than Tuesday. They have stuff going on. It's called Speed Weeks. Is going on the full week before the week leading up to the race, but
Or do you want to fly and get there quick?
which we could do that as well. And then you just rent an RV. There.
I mean, the RV sounds a lot more fun.
Oh, well, like if you want to make it like a real trip out of it, we could drive it. We could do a stop in Houston, pick up the gang, and
I
then,
bet you we could probably get Kelly to go too. Maybe.
I mean, if you made it sound like it was worth it, he'd go.
Yeah. This kind of sounds like a really nice bachelor party type thing. I'm not getting married anytime soon.
Yeah. Should I just should I say that I'm taking all of February off this coming month or this coming year? I'm just not going to be available. we double down.
You're taking a hiatus.
We double down. We go to France and then we come back.
Oh wait, because Daytona's in February.
Yeah.
No,
It's the week after the Super Bowl.
We can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
This year. Can't do it. Well, good thing for us, Daytona's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can shoot for
exactly.
2025.
2024.
So when the Sharks win.
We'll do it. I'm putting the Sharks in jail too.
No, you're not. You're not.
We're getting way off track.
That's the best part of this.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah, they're just
Okay.
replaying it. Oh my god. That would be the dream. Just take a van. Can you imagine just like Dylan driving an RV, driving like a bus driver? Like,
Yes.
he would.
He would.
I bet Brady would drive the whole way. He'd be like,
Brady would still be down.
Hey, he'd be like, I'm the best driver here. I could do it.
He'd go 50 the whole time.
I'd be like, bro, I'll drink high noons while you drive the whole time.
Yeah. Dude, that would be so much fun. We'll have to start planning, like, in the middle of next year.
Yeah, like or February of
Yeah,
this
or like
next-
year before,
Yeah.
yeah.
Upcoming year.
Yeah.
I think it's doable.
That's so doable. Just got to figure out who your squad is.
I do think it'd be impressive if we could find everybody to have the same days off. I think that'd be impressive.
Well, that's the thing, is that's why you plan well ahead of time so that people can say, hey, I know I'm going to get this time off, or they
Yeah.
don't, or I think so.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So stay tuned, ISR fans. Stay tuned.
Daytona 500 2024.
You heard it here first. We'll do an episode.
You heard it here first on August 22nd, 2022.
We'll do an episode from the RV.
Oh, we would go nuts in Florida.
Yeah, we might have to actually skip an episode.
Yeah, probably. We do some IG content.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to explain ISR Jail?
Yes,
I think you would do it better than I would.
Yeah, so ISR Jail is going to be a new part of this show. The general concept of it is going to be like, I guess the 86 list, which if you know what 86 means, that means like they're gone, like out of here. See ya. Yeah, we don't have it. But the rules are going to be, so a host like you and I or a guest can make a case for a person, place, thing, team, whatever you want to call it.
Anything revolving sports.
It really can be anything, yeah. And you can make a case for this thing to serve quote unquote jail time. And you will also propose a sentence and or requirements for them to be released from ISR jail.
Okay.
Also, the other host, the other host or guest or whatever, will be the judge and will determine whether or not your sentence is valid and can, you know, it can be something that's like bargained over or whatever.
Yeah.
For the verdict.
And this is not going to be like bowl predictions when someone could send it to us. Like you have to be with us.
Yes.
You have to be physically here with us.
I think this is going to be more of an us thing.
But
if you're a guest on the show and we determine like, yeah, this person, place, or thing needs to go in jail, then yes, we can do that. But it's going to be more of an us thing, and it's meant to be, you know, mostly sarcastic, but legitimately deserved as well.
So do you have anything you want to throw in there right now?
So we've talked about this already, but we've kind of decided that we don't want to talk about Antonio Brown on the show anymore.
AB.
Yeah, AB be gone.
AB. Done.
Yeah. So I think these couple or two or three we can kind of decide together. So I think Antonio Brown, and I think that if he wants to get out of ISR jail, he has to either make the NFL Hall of Fame, because to me ISR jail means that you don't get mentions on the show at all.
Yeah.
Right. So for him to get out of ISR jail, he has to be elected to the NFL Hall of Fame or Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Should I write that down?
Yeah. So that's going to be his requirements for getting out.
Okay.
And the other thing would be if he gets in the news by doing charitable things to the community.
I like that.
But even if he does do charitable things, he has to do that first and then do something that's newsworthy, not just be charitable.
I'm gonna put down AB done until he makes Hall of Fame or charitable things.
Yes, that's a good.
Okay.
That's perfect. So it's basically he's sentenced to life at this point.
Yeah.
Unless the pro football writers or whatever they call them. And
they're not.
You don't think he's going to the Hall of Fame?
I think he was on the trajectory. It's always a hard word for me to say.
Trajectory.
Trajectory.
I don't think it's a given necessarily either, but he has.
I feel like
some great numbers.
I feel like he's kind of he'll get the TO treatment for a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too.
Could.
Yeah,
I think it's comparable.
But if you think about that, that's like 6-7 years down the road.
Yeah, no, you could be right.
So we may not have to talk about it for a long time.
I was gonna say, what if, are we still in this podcast 6-7 years from now?
That's gonna be it's gonna be a question.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
Kevin Durant is next, and we talked about this not too long ago because we decided that we don't want to talk about Kevin Durant until we know where he's going to play.
Until he gets traded.
Yeah, until we know where he's going to play.
Can I say done until he gets traded?
Pretty much, yeah. So his way of getting out of ISR jail is determining where he's going to play next year.
Yeah.
Basically, because he's Mr. Drama Queen these days.
He is.
And I almost want to put like Kyrie in the same boat, but I did read today that Kyrie is expected to play with the Nets this year. Mm-hmm. My third suspect here is the Giants City Connect uniforms. You wanted to say that it should just be the hats, and I'm okay with that because the hats are pretty damn bad. The uniforms overall are not the worst.
And The reason why I say that is because I think I could wear the jersey. I think I would buy the jersey.
Yeah.
I would not buy the all orange hat.
Yeah. Never. Not even. You couldn't put that on my head and say, and I would and get me to not take it off.
Because I talk shit about both at one point.
Right.
But the more the more you see it, the more they wear it, and the more they win in the jersey. It's like, okay, it's not bad.
The uniform as a whole
But
is not good.
But it's the hat. It's the orange.
The hat is the worst part. And so I think that's going to get a lifetime sentence, in my opinion. Because we're never going to change our minds on that.
I like that. And I'm glad we talked about it beforehand because it's just the orange. It's like I didn't actually say a long time ago. It's a bad color.
And I think in total it's a bad main color. If it's an accent color, orange is fine, which we love. Our black and orange.
I don't have it on me.
Yeah, but black is obviously the main color of the Giants, and then orange is like a nice accent color.
I'm gonna put an ISR jail right now. We cannot talk about going to a Quakes game until
We do it
we make a plan.
until we
from-
buy tickets. I'm with that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm totally with that. Because we have abused that topic.
Oh, we have. Game until we actually make a plan. I think that's probably the
I
best.
like that. I like that.
I mean, yeah.
That's real for sure.
I really want our guests now to see what people pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause I think this is something that you mentioned earlier in the week. And I thought it was great.
Well, at first I was like I wanted to make an 86 list because we had talked about Kevin Durant in recent weeks, and then I knew that we had already decided that Antonio Brown was not going to be a topic of conversation much, if ever. So I wanted to find a better name for it, and I felt like ISRJL would be a good one.
Yeah.
Also, we could do a permanent one because Tom Brady. We're not going to talk about his retirement.
We did.
So I think that's kind of in the same realm.
You may put that down.
You can put it down. We could do it afterwards,
So no, when Tom Brady actually retires,
we're not.
we will not mention it. We will say go back to
yeah,
whatever episode.
yeah.
It was.
So that's going to be a permanent
Yeah.
life sentence for Tom Brady's retirement, his second retirement.
Yeah,
Since we already did that
we did.
about
Hey, can
6 months ago.
Can we find out what episode it was, just so we could tell people, hey, go to episode.
Yeah, we
86.
We can do that for sure. And we will update the ISR jail as needed. It's not going to be an every week thing.
No.
But if you have someone you want to throw or something you want to throw in jail, we will definitely put that in the mix.
Wait, no, who?
If we ever want to throw.
Oh,
someone in
us.
jail.
I was thinking about other people.
No.
No, because they have to be here.
Yeah, if anyone else wants to,
Yeah.
they got to be on the show.
Like if Rowdy Telez wants to put someone in jail, he has to be here.
Exactly. Hey, maybe Rowdy's got a teammate that he wants to throw in jail.
I doubt it.
I know Andrew McCutcheon didn't think that he could steal a base, and he did. So maybe he wants to throw Cutcheon in jail.
We did. Yeah, it's a great. We're not talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah. So how's the jail cell looking right now? It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty deep.
5.
5 deep.
We got AB. We got KD. We got Giant City Connects. We got the Quakes until we actually make a fucking plan. And then Tom Brady's second retirement.
Yes.
I'm not putting the dates down, but I think it's a jail.
I think it's
because you're in it until
yeah.
So
And then once KD gets out of jail, he'll
oh
be erased.
this is good. This is one of our better things. I like this.
Guess what time it is?
Oh, it's Q&A.
Q&A.
It's
Not
Q&A.
last call.
I almost hit the that's easy button.
You could still do that if you want.
No. Cover. What did we say? If we're at Q&A by
Well, what did we say?
We
We're at
say
Q&A by now. We're well past that.
we're well past that.
About an hour 20. But hey, here we are.
Yeah.
First question is from D. Del Zampo, our boy Danny. And he asks, Would you be okay with the NFL using those new helmets in season if it was better for player safety? And he's talking about those kind of goofy looking alien head helmets that they use in practice.
I would personally be okay with it, but I think a lot of people who watch the NFL would have an issue with it. Like maybe the old heads, like I mentioned earlier, old heads.
Yeah.
They would have an issue with their team's logo not being on the helmet. And could they make it to where they could have that logo on the padded?
Maybe, but I think you're spot on. And I don't even think it's more about the people. I think it's just about the advertisement in general.
Exactly.
Of seeing that logo. And honestly, they do look goofy. Like when you watch guys wear them in practice.
It reminds me of when the pitchers rock the padding.
I'm with you. And it was like, there's like this kind of blocky thing on the...
It honestly looked like Mario and Luigi.
It did.
Like Super Mario.
That is spot on as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
Go for it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really care, but I think aesthetic is a very huge part of the uniform, and that's why they probably wouldn't do it.
No, of course it is. I mean, we were talking about City Connect jerseys 2 seconds ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My question is, why can't they put the padding on the outside and just add it more on the inside?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
It would make the helmets look a lot bigger, which
Yeah.
people make fun of anyways, but
Right.
I do think that people would like that more than having the padding on top.
I'm thinking that if they did go to a more padded helmet area or whatever, that it would be on the inside and you would still see the shell with the logo on it.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't really care, but I do think that people would care and that the advertisement is a big part of it.
I really think it is.
Yeah.
And also, I think, let's say people who don't watch the NFL a lot, and might just know the logos. Let's say two teams are playing, you can't tell.
And you don't know what the logo is. You're like, wait, who's playing?
You're like, who is that? Like, what team is that? Because not a lot of people are like us, or maybe the people who are listening, who just we automatically know every team.
Right.
Looking, not even a question.
Right.
Some people aren't like that. People are trying to learn the game, trying to learn.
Or they're just casual fans. They're like, wait, I thought the Cardinals were playing, but I see them wearing their black uniforms, and I don't know what this helmet is.
Exactly.
Because I don't see the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the Cowboys star.
It's a huge.
Not
it's iconic.
not biased. It's like the Lakers and it's like the fucking Yankees.
It's iconic for sure.
If it's not there, people are gonna be like, "Wait, this is the Cowboys?"
Yeah.
Or even the Niners. The Niners are the same thing. Honestly, they are.
Yeah, the gold helmets.
Yeah. So I would say, let's figure out more padding on the inside.
Yeah.
Because if you put it on the outside, couldn't it be just as important on the inside?
I also wonder if that thing is heavy or not. I mean, they don't. When the guys run around, they don't make it seem like it is. But that is something that I wonder.
I don't know I would say it's not very heavy, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be at least some more weight, but who knows? Yeah. I just don't know how much it is.
Yeah. Our next question.
Can I ask this
yes,
one?
You can. Yes, you can.
All right, this is from Tyler Moffitt. He asks, how many more wins will the Eagles have over the Cowgirls when they win the NFC East? Cowgirls meaning your Cowboys.
Oh, is that what he means?
I think so.
Okay.
Just going out on a limb.
My answer to this question is cry, Eagles, cry. But in all seriousness, stay tuned for our...
I was thinking to say that too.
Yeah, stay tuned for our NFL predictions.
Which are going to be in exactly 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked, and I kind of wanted to give an actual answer, but...
I kind of don't want to either.
No,
Should I not?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, do you want
to? For the sake of answering the question, yes, but for your reasons, no.
I think it's going to be close. I don't want to give it away. I think the Cowboys and the Eagles will have the same record.
Ooh.
But I think the Eagles will beat them in the tiebreaker somehow and win the division.
Okay. All right, I like it.
Okay.
I will stick with Gage's answer and say stay tuned for our episode in 2 weeks.
I want to answer the question.
Yeah.
But I love the question, Tyler. I know you're kind of
nice confidence.
No, he Tyler Moffitt does not lack confidence.
You know what is overrated though? Is the fact that the Eagles got AJ Brown and everyone thinks they're going to be good. All of a sudden. They won 9 games and barely made the playoffs.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is bad, but I don't think
he's bad, but I don't think he's special.
I don't think he's the best quarterback in the division.
He's like...
Do you think he's better than Dak Prescott?
He's like a top 20 quarterback.
Is he better than Dak?
Same. At best. Like, I would give Dak more credit for his experience in the NFL.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
No, Our next question is from Margan Fo. She asks, "Can you even fathom going to a Giants game and not wearing Giants gear?" And I'm gonna answer this right now because I almost did that
Whoa!
on
really?
Sunday. I almost did.
That would have been a fail.
Well, so I wore my Barry Bonds hat. It just says Bonds. It has like a couple like silhouettes of him.
Mhm.
Would you count that as Giants gear?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Giant, it's at least Giants related.
Okay, because I was gonna wear that hat, no doubt, because they're playing the Pirates. I wanted the Pirates connection.
Right.
I was gonna wear this jersey that I have not worn yet. It's a Star Wars jersey. It says Rebels in the front, number 77, because I think that's when the first movie came out.
Okay.
And it's it kind of looks like Boston Red Sox writing.
Oh, as far as the font?
Yeah, the font, the Rebels looks like Red Sox, but the jersey's blue. It kind of looks like a Red Sox jersey. But I got it from work a while back, and I really liked it. And I was like, I might kind of, throw it through a loop and
Right.
do all this whole thing. So I
Show
almost,
it off.
but I was like, I had this other jersey I got from work, the Giants one I wore, which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like that one.
It has like the font G on it, and
I like
all
that one a lot.
But I could go to a game and not wear a Giants jersey. I could. But why did she say this? Because you probably know.
So I think she said today that she had seen someone wearing something that was like just totally off colored in the stands and was like, why would you go to a game and not have Giants colors?
Well, they could not be a fan.
That was, certainly my thought, but I didn't want to totally question her at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Which is a smart son thing to do.
but at the same time, I can't remember the last time I went to a Giants game and wasn't wearing Giants gear. So, but that's a personal thing. A lot of people go to the game. They're just going to the game to go to the game. They don't really, even if they call themselves Giants fans, they're not a Giants fan. They're not like that invested in the team necessarily.
I think the reason why I wore my Giants jersey because I don't really have any other reason to wear a Giants jersey besides going to the game.
Yeah, that's another.
Like I'm not Garrett who can just wear a jersey. I mean, I could, but I'm not. Garrett wears jerseys all the time.
Yeah.
That's just who he is. I love him for that.
Yeah.
That's not really what I do.
Yeah.
So.
No, I've phased out of that. I guess used to wear jersey more often, but excuse me.
It's more of like jerseys to me are more of a social thing. Like for like a party, you can wear a jersey.
Yep.
Kind of show it off. Also, did you see the post that T Mart had the Yankee jersey he was wearing? What's up with that? What is he a fan of?
Front running.
No, but seriously, is he at the Giants?
I think he does. Yeah, I think he's kind of a.
Was that a Tulo jersey that he had?
He supports
Yankee
a
one?
lot of people.
Didn't Tulo play for the Yankees?
Did he? No, I think he did. Or maybe for a short. Maybe.
Maybe for a short stint.
I know he played for the Blue Jays and the Rockies.
Can you check real quick? Do you mind?
No. You want to ask the next question while we do this?
Yes. Sal, aka Chavaway, asks, "What is your favorite sport to watch, and what is your favorite sport to play?" And for me, my favorite sport to watch is football because the Cowboys, favorite team ever. And it's just football. It's a small sample size. It's not here for a long time, and I just love it. I love watching football. And I know it's boring to a lot of people, but when it's on, it means something.
Football, or the NFL in particular, and I guess college football too, because they're on TV, has done a great job with marketing themselves, and they do have that advantage of like every game means a lot more than, like for example, in our lifetime, they played 16 games in the NFL schedule versus 160 games in baseball. So every 10 games in baseball would mean the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Would mean one game in football, but. For me, I mean, I would say baseball and baseball. I grew up playing baseball. It was the only sport I played organized.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in a casual setting, I love playing basketball.
Well, I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, I love. Yeah. But as far as and being able to dissect what I'm watching, I do that better watching baseball than any other sport. But I love watching basketball and football as well.
I think my favorite sport currently, right now, to play, frisbee golf.
Okay, I like that.
And I don't play it nearly as much as I used to. I work a lot, or I work. I don't get out there as much as I would like to, but it's just. I like it because it just it's you're playing yourself. I mean, you might be playing against somebody or playing with somebody.
Yeah, but it's I see what you're
Like
saying.
if you that's why I like skateboarding so much, because it's just you're doing it. Like if
Right.
you make a mistake,
it's on you.
it's on a team sport.
Yeah.
And I like team sports.
I love team sports. I've always loved team sports.
But I'd say frisbee golf is my favorite sport to play currently. But I've always loved to play basketball, whether it's playing pickup or playing horse, shooting hoops or whatever. It was my first love. Basketball was my first love.
Yeah.
And I do love watching basketball too.
Yeah, watching basketball.
It's great because it's so much more fast paced than football.
Yeah, basketball is such a free flowing sport. It's easy to it's to me it's the best sport to keep you engaged in the action.
Yeah.
Like football, and I like watching football a lot, but the play lasts no longer than 10 seconds, and then the stoppages are 30 plus seconds.
A lot of commercials.
And then there's the commercials involved.
I would even argue that watching hockey it's better than watching
It's similar
football.
to basketball
where
in
there's so much going on.
the consistent action. Yes, although the scoring chances are not as frequent as the action is. But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I would also say, to your point, you said your current favorite sport to play is frisbee golf. I would say golf is the only sport that I play at this point, unless we're talking about slow pitch softball.
I was gonna mention softball.
Which I do love, but we haven't played in a while. Which we need to get back on.
ISR jail softball.
No. It's gonna be talked about. And it's gonna happen when it happens.
Because softball, slow pitch softball, for us, in my opinion, is becoming the Quakes, and we're talking about it too much and not doing it.
Fair. That's fair.
I'll give it like another month. If we mention it,
But the thing is, we haven't gone to a Quakes game since 2016. We've played softball much more recently than that.
have we?
Yeah.
2018?
I want to say 19. We played.
Okay, 19.
No.
Okay. We're gonna get back out there.
Yes, I'm down. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
I'm so ready. Probably next spring.
Okay.
Is the target.
Yeah, are we doing just all guys or girls or?
If we do girls, we better get like 6 girls that are dedicated. Not
Dedicated.
Not 3 girls that are dedicated and then 3 girls that are on the fence. Not playing that game again.
Did you look up Tulo?
Yes, so he did play with the Yankees.
Thank you.
5 games.
Wow,
The
really?
last 5 games he played in his career, he played with the Yankees.
Hey, I'm right though.
Yeah, you're all right. I kind of had a feeling that he did, but I couldn't pinpoint when it happened in his career. Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
5 games. I managed to remember that when you played 5 games for him. Okay.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
I thought he might have been the next Jeter or something.
That's cute. That's cute. Next question is from Cali Firefighter, who I don't think you know this, but you've met this guy. His name is Dennis. Do you remember we did an episode one day at Dover, and then a couple guys came over. We were watching the NBA Finals in the front yard.
Oh,
And
okay.
I went to go smoke cigars with these guys. You didn't come with us to do this,
But they were there with
but
us.
they came and met us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of those guys is his name is Dennis. This is his account, and he's a big Giants fan.
And he listened to us.
I
watches
think
us,
so. Yeah.
listens,
I mean,
yeah.
I remember when he and his crew were staying at the Marriott for a good while because they were doing cleanup work from the fires
Oh, okay.
that were happening in North Napa, North Napa County, and we had through conversation had eventually talked about our podcast, and he started listening, and he enjoyed it. And he's a Giants fan, so I think he liked that part of it.
Oh, okay.
And that's why his question is about the Giants, and he says, or asked, should the Giants be looking at a manager change? I want to hear your thoughts before I give mine.
I'm kind of gonna go with what you said 2 weeks ago. I think we have to be calm and just kind of wait it out. Even though I do think Farhan needs to make some bigger moves soon,
Fair.
or
yeah.
big name moves.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. I mean, so he's talking about Gabe Kapler in this situation, and I don't think you can put this season on Gabe. You could certainly argue that the bullpen has been slightly mismanaged, but when your bullpen is not producing, it's really hard. It's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
And so I can't put too much of this on Gabe Kapler necessarily. I would have liked to see Jock Peterson play every day rather than be more of a versus right-handed pitching specialist.
Yeah.
Given that he was an all-star, He earned that All-Star gig by being great. He's obviously slumped a little bit in the last handful of games and weeks, but I think there's a couple of things, and he really what he's done is he's just gone by the book, if you will. But to some degree, as a manager, you have to use some instincts and not just go, you know, here's the scouting report, and this is where we're gonna go with, you know. So I do not believe that Gabe Kapler should be on the chopping block, but yeah, I think it's just been a weird year for the Giants. Yeah. It's been a weird few years for the Giants because they had no business winning 107 games last year.
Exactly.
So that's part of it.
Well, because let me ask him this. So what happened to the Giants last year?
They lost in the first round of the playoffs.
So it's, you know, yeah, they had a really good regular season, but when it comes down to it,
they weren't built for it.
They were not built for it.
Yeah.
You know.
And granted, they did take the Dodgers to basically the last pitch of the season for the Giants.
Last check swing.
Last check. Yes, they did do that. But at the same time, the Dodgers got waxed by the Braves in the championship series. So
yeah. So let's say this though. Let's say the Giants somehow make a playoff run, and they make it to the championship series. Like, are you going to think that last year was? I mean, it's not going to happen, but you know. Like, are you going to say last year was still better than what this year was, if that happens?
I mean, if you're not winning the World Series at the end of the day, sure, you could say it's all the same.
Yeah.
But making the playoffs and being a mid-pack team, that is two different things. Because you have to consider the fact that last year made the Giants fan base excited about Giants baseball again because we'd had some pretty lean years for a while.
Yeah.
You know, dating back to 2016 was the last time they had been interesting at any point. So, yeah, I don't think any of this should be put on Gabe Kapler. I think we just got to run it back.
Yeah.
See what happens in free agency. Do it again.
Yeah. And that is Q&A. Thank you for your questions. We always appreciate it.
Yes.
Emerson, what time is it?
It is. That was easy.
Last call.
I got a couple things. What do you got?
So Christmas Day we have NBA and NFL games.
Ooh.
But
what day of the week is that?
I don't know. Everyone's off anyways.
Okay.
Are you?
No.
Oh.
365, baby.
So the NFL. So my whole thing is the NFL has 3 games on Christmas Day, and how should the NBA feel because the NBA has been known to have this whole Christmas Day aura to it. If I'm the NBA, I'm pissed about this because the NFL they are gonna obliterate any viewage that the NBA has.
My only thing is the NFL does not change their schedule by day of week ever in any season, so this is not the first time this has happened.
No.
The other thing is, sure, the NBA is going to lose maybe some viewership, but at the same time, why should the NFL care? The NFL does what the NFL wants.
No, I'm more worried about. No, I don't think the NFL cares. I think the NBA should care.
But at the same time, the NFL is not contracted based on what the NBA does.
It's just okay. I see what you mean, and I know the NFL is not going to have games on Christmas Day for the next
probably 6 years.
Yeah, but it's just I feel like the NBA is like you motherfucker.
Right,
you know what I mean?
and I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, if Christmas was on a Sunday, would you not expect to see NFL games?
No, I would.
Exactly. So what are you gonna do? Sorry, NBA.
Yeah.
You're not as big as us.
Yeah.
The only way that would change is if the NBA was bigger than the NFL, and it's not.
Okay.
So it is what it is. They got to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah, no, it's way better take than I had. So. You put me in a place right there. PSG.
Baby, 3-0 in league. League in. They've scored 17 goals in 3 games.
That's a yeah. So would they win 6-1?
That's more than normal. So they won 7-1 yesterday. Won 5-2 the week before. They won something to nothing in week 1.
Okay, good.
Neymar's got 5 goals in 3 games. Mbappe had a hat trick yesterday. He's got 4 goals in his 2 games he's played. Messi scored 3 times already this year. The boys are looking good.
It's looking good.
It's looking great.
It's looking good.
Also, Mbappe, I don't know if you saw this. You probably didn't. But Mbappe scored a record for PSG 8 seconds into the game.
Really?
8 seconds.
I did see one of the Mbappe goals, and it was pretty impressive, but it was not 8 seconds in.
Just think about that. Like, soccer is a game, like, when it starts, you kick it back to your boys, and they fiddle it around for, like, 2 minutes.
That's pretty quick.
Before you get it into the offensive zone. They did this cute little play where they used Messi as a decoy, passed it back, and then Mbappe went for the goal and flicked it over the top, and he flicked it in.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. I was watching, and I was like, wait, they already scored. And I looked down, and I looked up, and they were like, wait, it's 1-0. I had to scroll back, and I'm like, wait, that happened off the kickoff.
Kind of like Tyro Estrada.
A little bit. Pretty impressive. But yeah, unreal. The only thing I'm worried about with this team right now is that they will be favorites to win probably every single game they play in league.
Yeah.
Which is not good because that means they're not getting tested.
It's kind of like Alabama football.
A little bit.
Okay.
And that makes me nervous for their chances in Champions League because we want to play good teams. And League One just doesn't really seem to have that right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably lose a game or two in League One.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like this competition could put them to sleep, which would not be a good thing because we want them to be energized for Champions League when it matters.
When we see them.
When we see them.
When we see
In
them.
February.
Because we're seeing them.
We're seeing them.
We are seeing them. You know why?
Because you got your passport.
Got my passport today. We're going to Paris.
I'm going to get mine next week.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the only thing that and now we next week have Monaco, which is going to be the biggest test
Going to
of the year.
Monaco.
Yes.
Going to Monaco.
Exactly. It's going to be the biggest test of the year, but they just got their shit waxed 4-1 this past weekend.
Okay.
So maybe they're not as good as we thought. And we just beat Lille 7-1, who was the champions the last time that PSG didn't win the championship in league. So I just feel like this is not a great recipe right now, but you can't be too upset with a 7-1 victory.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I gotta take a piss so bad right now.
I could pee too. What else you got?
Nothing.
All right, Serena Williams has called it a career. She's going to play the U.S. Open, I believe, sometime this year. I don't know when that is. And that's going to be it for her.
Great career. She's the GOAT.
Probably the best women's tennis player of all time.
She is.
Yeah.
Who's better?
I mean, Billie Jean, but I think Serena's got her.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Cool.
You want to send it?
No.
You got to pee?
No, I gotta go so bad.
All right, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Thank you for waiting. We appreciate it.
Can you guarantee that we're going to have an episode next week or no?
I think we should have one before the draft, right?
Yeah.
Fantasy football draft next week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we gotta do that too.
That's going to be complicated. It might have to be the day after the draft.
Why?
Because we're going to do the draft.
Oh, yeah. Don't make me laugh. Sorry. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, maybe TikTok soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We love you. Peace and love.
Longest episode again.
Peace.